that took place this past week. 59 people killed, over 500 more injured during a Jason Aldean concert in Las Vegas, being gunned down from over 300 yards away from a shooter on the 32nd floor of the nearby hotel. That is the deadliest shooting that has ever occurred on American soil, as far as I know. Not the most deadliest attack, but the deadliest shooting. The gunman, who will not be named on this channel, plus I really don't even remember his name, supposedly had 23 or 24 guns in his hotel room. Several of them had slide fire stocks. I assume most, if not all of them, were rifles of some sort, probably ARs and AKs. And of course, this strikes a gun control debate. And the biggest thing that the left, the gun grabbers, the liberals are looking to ban are slide fire stocks. And I'll admit that I don't really care about slide fire stocks. If manufacturers and retailers just stopped selling them on their own without any legislation, I wouldn't care, because I personally don't have a use for them. I never really care to own one, even though they're being threatened to be banned. I just don't see any practical use for them. I personally don't really see any practical use in full auto either. Maybe 3-round bursts, but that's a whole nother topic. It's just a way to waste a lot of ammunition and waste a lot of money. So I personally don't care about slide fire stocks. And the question becomes, should we ban slide fire stocks? I mean, most people don't really care about them. Well, my answer is no. And here's why. If you don't know what a slide fire stock is, this is an AR-15 with a standard A2 stock on it. Slide fire stock essentially replaces your stock and your pistol grip. It's all one piece. It is spring loaded to where you have to pull on the forend in order to pull the trigger. You put your finger down on the trigger on a little piece of plastic here, and you pull forward, and the spring tension and the recoil and just the force of you pulling allows you to pull the trigger faster than you possibly could with just your trigger finger. And it essentially turns it into almost a full auto. Almost. And from what it sounds like, the shooter had slide fire stocks on some, if not all, of his rifles. I'm not really sure what rifles he used. I'm assuming ARs and AKs. But the point is that a slide fire stock does not turn this into a fully automatic rifle. It is still a semi-automatic rifle. 1 round for every 1 pull of the trigger. That is a semi-automatic rifle. Just because the stock enhances your ability to pull the trigger doesn't make it a full auto. And that is the point I want to make, is it doesn't turn it into a full auto like people think. It is not altering the actual mechanics of the gun. It is still functionally a semi-automatic rifle. And what really gets me is that so many pro-gun people, I'm going to put air quotes on that, pro-gun people are saying, well, yeah, let's just ban slide fire stocks, we'll give it to them, we'll let them ban it, and we'll just go on with our lives. You people really think that they're going to stop at slide fire stocks? Like I said, it's still a semi-automatic rifle. With a slide fire stock or not, it's semi-automatic. And with that, they will have the argument to ban semi-automatic rifles. Here's why. You don't need a slide fire stock to bump fire. You can bump fire without anything. Just put it down here and bump fire away. It seems like just about every YouTuber with an AK has done it in a video that they've made. You can do it with an AR, you can do it with any semi-automatic rifle. I've seen people do it with shotguns, double barrel, triple barrel shotguns. It can be done. It doesn't make it a full auto. You can make a very cheap slide fire stock with just a rubber band. Well, you couldn't do it on this one, I don't think, unless you tied the rubber band. But you essentially put a rubber band around the mag well and put it back behind the trigger, and there you have a slide fire stock, although it's not a stock, but it essentially gives you the same capabilities. The tension of the rubber band pulls the trigger forward, and you just keep pulling on the trigger, and it essentially makes it about as fast as a slide fire stock or a full auto. So if you let them ban slide fire stocks, then you're letting them go after semi-automatic rifles, because after they ban the slide fire stocks, when they say, oh, what else can we ban? Well, people can still bump fire without a stock. Well, then we'll just ban high capacity magazines or normal capacity magazines, and they'll ban it of anything above 10 rounds, 5 rounds, hell, 1 round. You know how anti-gunners are. You really want to give them that kind of ammunition? And it just amazes me. The same pro-gun people who say, oh, well, we'll just give them slide fire stocks, when they see posts about people like me pointing out that you don't need a slide fire stock to fire that fast, they say, whoa, you can't give them that kind of ammunition. They'll just go after more. Well, you are the one giving them the ammunition. You are the one telling them that they should ban slide fire stocks, which will immediately result in them wanting to ban semi-automatic rifles. Keep in mind, slide fire stocks, they don't mean anything to them. Their goal is total confiscation of all guns, not just semi-automatics. I mean, they want to ban revolvers, lever actions, hell, break actions. They probably want you to have nothing but a muzzle loader. I mean, come on, people. Wake up. And it truly amazes me that the NRA and Hickok 45 agrees with the whole banning of slide fire stocks. They're telling the ATF to look into slide fire stocks again, even though it's been looked into at least once, maybe even twice, during the Obama administration, and they said they are perfectly legal because they're still semi-automatic rifles. And it amazes me. I see all these pro-gun people saying, well, we'll just tack on a clause with the Hearing Protection Act, and that way they can have their slide fire stocks removed, and we can get our suppressors. Are you kidding me? Are you going to run the risk of them trying to go after your semi-automatic rifles or your high-capacity magazines after that, all to get your precious suppressors without having to pay an extra $200? You people make me sick. We don't negotiate. We don't give them an inch. They'll take a mile. If you're so pro-gun as you say you are, then you'll oppose any and all gun control measures being proposed. So I hope that you oppose the government and the NRA and anybody else saying that we should ban slide fire stocks. Just because you don't care about them doesn't mean that that's not a way for them to chisel away at our rights. Anyway, that's just my position on the matter. Subscribe to my channel, like me on Facebook, follow me on VidMe. I'm Redneck Mini 14, and until next time, be safe.